So this is ENGR 213, Strength and Materials. All right, I'm David Kidd. Now my office is IA208. It's my phone number and email. Office hours, anytime if I'm free, I'm happy to help you anytime I could via email or whatever way works. We meet Monday and Wednesday from 3 to 5 and Friday from 3 to 4 in IA227. All right, this class introduces the relationship between external forces that are applied to an object and the internal forces, stresses, and deformations. The actual specific outcomes for this class are listed on the syllabus, which is available in Moodle. Now, the things for the class are listed in Moodle here, so here we go. There's the, let's see, what do we got here? We've got some general announcements on the top. Then we have the assignments here that are listed in this handout. Then we have the actual links where hybrid online students can upload their homework right there. This is the homework that's due Friday, the 11th. Here are the recordings. They're kept right here. So you can click on these links and they'll take you to YouTube where the recordings are. And then we have downloads here. The syllabus that we're going through is right here. Here's homework format, formula sheet, etc., etc. Then here's some of the notes, not all of them, but at least enough notes to get started with are right there. So you do need to get a note packet from the bookstore, but if you don't have it yet, you could download these, and this is a few days worth to kind of keep you going until you get the packet. All right, so this class, to be in here, you should have had statics and integral calculus. As I mentioned, the textbook or the Strength and Materials notes, which are a set of notes that cover both the homework and the first part of the notes. That's pages 1 through about 34. After that, I have the notes that we use in class, which are pages 110 and 120, 130, etc., etc. They're numbered kind of funny like that. That allows me to add notes in the future. So if I've got 110 and 120 and I want to add something, I can just call it 115. That's why I number things that way. And that goes on, I don't know, to page 800 and something, I think. So those are generally numbered by tens. They're sequential, but they're numbered by, as I say, by tens or so. Okay, so that's what's in the notes. Now, I do think you should have a full textbook. And any good, reliable strength materials textbook would be fine. Now, I don't use it for the homework or anything, but so you could use any edition you'd like of any textbook, but I don't think the notes really thoroughly cover the subject. So I think that, yeah, you should have some sort of textbook for future reference and greater depth of the subject. All right, now the grading system that's used here is the exams are 85% of the grade and homework is 15%. I use two systems. One system, each of the midterms and the final count equally. There's two midterms and a final. The other system, the two midterms are 25% each and the final is 35% each. Okay, so I use both systems. I calculate your grade both ways and I take the higher of the two. I also drop the lowest weekly homework. Okay, now one thing to understand about how grades are posted is I post the grades in Moodle, so I'll list your midterm score and your homework scores. However, I don't calculate the scores in Moodle. The Moodle spreadsheet won't do logic routines that I need to do to pick the higher of these two. It won't drop the lowest weekly homework, etc., etc. So all I do in Moodle is post the scores. I don't calculate the scores in Moodle. I have a separate spreadsheet that does that. However, Moodle will show what it calls a term total or something like that, but that's a meaningless number, okay? I have a spreadsheet that I've uploaded there that you can use to calculate your current grade. but don't use the course total from Moodle. It's not a meaningful number. So I take your percentage here, and then I just assign A, B, C, etc. based on your percentage as shown there. Okay, I've got just a paragraph there on professionalism. You know, I expect you to show up and to participate, and show respect for others, and just focus on learning in the class. Okay. If you're going to be out for any length of time, please just let me know, and we can work through that. But you know, if anything's up, just communicate with me, and we can work through whatever problems come up. Course schedule is shown there. I've got a list of what employers expect of employees. That's a pretty good list for students too, I think. We've got a note here on accommodations. If you need any accommodations, just let me know, and we'll take care of that. So just communicate that to me, and we'll take care of it. We have an anti-discrimination statement that LBCC will not tolerate discrimination based on a number of categories for different individuals. I think the meaning of that is just treat people decently, even if they're different than you. Okay, so that's something that the college takes very seriously. Another thing is academic honesty. You know, you're welcome to work together on homework, and I'd encourage you to do that. But to receive credit, do your own work. Okay, any cheating on homework or tests will result in a 0 being assigned for the grade. Students who aid other students who cheat will also be held responsible. Okay. The final exam is scheduled for Wednesday, March 20th from 3 to 5. I know some of you might be taking classes at OSU as well, so if there's conflicts that come up, you can just let me know, and we'll work through them. We always try and find solutions to problems that come up for hybrid internet students. Okay. Now, I don't have exact dates of the midterms, but I can tell you that midterm 1 will be late week 4 or week 5. Midterm 2 will be late week 8 or 9, or early week 9. I'll give you at least 1 week's notice for midterms, okay? Now, I expect your homework to be turned in with a certain format, and I've got a sheet you can download for that, okay? What I'm looking for on that is your name, the date, problem number, and page number on the top. You can paraphrase the problem statement and then come up with a sketch using a straight edge, a simple sketch. Okay, work through the problem in a way such that someone else can follow it, and then box in your answers to a problem. Use a straight edge here. Try and make the work look professional. Now, when you start your professional career, there will be an expectation that your work's done in a professional way, that it looks good, that it's organized, that it's legible. So please just start to work on that and improve your skills at that. Okay. Also, keep in mind that your work isn't just, the purpose of it is not just to find the answer. The purpose is also to show the method that you use to find the answer. So you should do your homework with that in mind. Okay, just some different ideas here, some advice. This is from the Oregon State Barometer paper. What have you learned this year at Oregon State University? And what this one particular student had learned was that showing up for class is pretty important. I think that's very important, and that's good advice, especially if you're just watching the lectures online. You want to discipline yourself and have a regular schedule for watching them. Just keep up with what's going on in the class. Okay, here's an old newspaper article from quite a long time ago, almost 20 years ago. They came up with a rover that they were going to send to Mars to study Mars. And unfortunately, the design team, I think, used metric units. The operations team thought it was English units. And as a result of that misunderstanding, they crashed their Mars orbiter. And it was, just completely ruined the mission that they were trying to accomplish. So remember to include your units and to carry your work through so that people can solve it. It's important, okay? So there's a good example of why. Here's a movie called Teen Beach Movie. that my daughter used to watch quite a bit. What you have there is the two leads here. Mac over here on the right, she's the smart one. I think it's Brady there on the left who's more impulsive. And at one point, Mac tells Brady, I can explain it to you, but I can't understand it for you. So keep that in mind, that my job as a teacher is to explain it. Your job is to understand it, and those are different things, okay? To understand things, what you want to do is to be sure you're attending class and to engage in the class. Pay attention, think, ask questions. Okay, those are all things that suggest that you're actively involved, and that's how you learn. Do your homework and work at it independently. Work on it yourself. Be sure you can do your homework yourself. You learn this material by doing the homework, okay? That's how you independently learn it, and so you really do need to do that, I think, to learn the material. Study all the time. Keep up with the material, especially this class. We use a lot of variables and Greek letters for variables, and it can just be a lot of information to keep up with. So just every night, just work at it a little bit. If you can, find a good study group, a good reliable study group that you can work with. Okay. So those are just some tips for being successful in the class.